One, my last North Key visit with Mary Braun. I told her that I was bipolar, I have depression, and I probably need some kind of medicine for ADHD. It may be something for schizophrenia. But anyways, I told her I pull on my ear all the time and I go like this. And well, that's part of whatever mental disability I have that I go to North Key and get medicine for. Anyways, that is a part of the documentation at CM. Now, someone's trying to say I was hitting myself when pulling on my ear like this because it's aggravating me, and I hear ringing all day long, which there's nothing telling me I can't pull on my ear like this. This is not hitting myself, by the way. But to fire me over a mental disability, well, that's stated in my North Key paperwork, that is a part of the CM documents, well, that would be illegal no matter if it's a no-fault state in Kentucky. But anyways, first it was they tried to say I stole a pop, and I got all these Cash App receipts for Red Bulls and egg sandwiches and shit. And then it was I was hitting myself, and then they tried, well, our cameras were off. Then they try to say, well, something about your background comes up to your child molester, blah, 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 blah. No, I got my background report. And everybody gets ran through the sex offender database. And it says that my birth certificate was issued in Ohio, somewhere between 92 and 94. There's no charges. And then it says I had a recent assault where I was getting my head bashed in the concrete and I cut a man on his kneecap. And did 10 months. And then it had something 2 years ago from, I got caught drinking in public and had one of those CBD vape pens, which I don't know how it's a controlled substance when you get to sell it at your gas station. And it's under the derived hemp bill, which is in the USD or the FDA law, and it was 0.3% THC that makes it in the hemp bill to sell legally. So I don't know how you could have got me on controlled substance. But anyways, they come up with all these excuses of why they tried to fire me Friday and didn't let me work Saturday and Sunday. And well, Miss Lloyd lost twice against me. I have the evidence you're trying to cover up where I got shot by Marion Weaver's pistol at Donovan Jones' house and found in that false garage on Isabella that has the false door in the back of it with Billy. And I was missing and I was in a coma and Brittany Lloyd was raping me. And that little girl went to the mental institution and then escaped. And I can tie her into a bank robbery on top of it because she's one of the people that held me hostage when I got ran over in front of Holmes High School in 2015 after her and Christopher escaped the mental institution. And he was wearing some tattoos that look close to mine now. But anyways, I'm just curious. But my regular shift before last Friday was at Veritiv. And they said they canceled the whole shift. And then they tried to say I was hitting myself. Once again, pulling on my ear like this is not hitting myself. And it was stated at North Key that that's something I do quite frequently through the day. Because I hear constant ringing. And I have a very bad earache all day, every fucking day of my life. So it's a part of my mental disability paperwork that was filled out when I filled out the paperwork at CM staffing. So I'm just curious how these people are getting away with this. But first, there was a meeting at Veritiv, and it was for everybody. They had to have the footage. It ain't been a whole month since it happened. But where they had a meeting and said, well, I'm gonna be off of work for a week, so everybody's gonna be off until I come back on Monday. And then we came back to work and we worked a couple days. And then we didn't have no work, and they said the volume of the work was going down because you couldn't get the orders in. They needed to package and ship the packages out because their orders were being arrived late. So we cleaned the last day I was there. And if we had looked at the videos from the last day that I was there at Veritiv, I'm the only one in the factory actually cleaning, walking around the aisles, picking up skids, getting the loose wood chips from the skids, plastic, paper with a dust mop, and carrying skids through the aisles and things. And everybody else is standing around jibber-jabbering, pretending to fucking work and hold brooms in their hand. And then I went to the hospital because, well, I pulled on my ear. And on top of it, I got hurt. I had a scab on my ear and I had an infection and a knot on my neck. So I went to the hospital and got antibiotics and called off the next day. And then after that, well, we don't have no work. And then it took a week for a guy named Scott to give me Michael's number. And if we go back and check the videos at Veritiv, I'm a very hard worker. I wrap skids, I pack, I stack, label. I put the labels on the desk. I make sure to change the food orders and get the food to the right, correct places. So I'm just curious about this. And me grabbing my ear like this ain't no reason to fire me. Once again, because it's a part of my North Key documents. And my last appointment, I had this conversation with Mary Brown where I grabbed my ear, and it's the reason I take medicine. So, I'm just curious here. But y'all have a good evening. But anyways, Veritiv was from 5 to 1 in the morning, and I didn't get home. I was staying in Avondale until 2:30 in the morning. And this last job that I just worked was 5 to 5. And I didn't get home till 8:30 in the morning last Friday because I had to ride the bus. So no one can say, oh, he's staying up and he's been up for days. I just thought I'd add that in there.